What's up, everybody? My name's Parasite. Welcome back to the Jose Mourinho Challenge with Chelsea. Today we find out our fate in the Europa League. We are in the quarterfinal stage, and we are taking on the toughest team left in the competition, because of course we are, Atletico Madrid, and we will have both legs in this episode. We are also over the $100 million balance in the red. It's fine. It's fine. All we have to do is win the Europa League, win the Premier League, maybe rob a couple banks, maybe a nation. It might take an entire nation, and then we'll be fine. No problems. Recent results, well, we've only played one game, and technically it went well after that draw against Tottenham, which was a really even match. We played Aston Villa, and we got the win, 1-0, but it was not great. We did have a sending off in the 76th minute, Reguilon with the second yellow, but fortunately we were able to get the win, 1-0, but the performance was one of the worst of the entire season. Usually, we're on the other end of this. Aston Villa, who are not a bad team, they were at home, but they had 24 shots, 10 on target. We had 7 and 1. We had 1 shot on target, and we scored it. Like, I am on this other side 100% of the time. Okay, maybe 99% of the time now. But it feels good to be on this side for once. But I don't even know what happened. Like, we were good in the first half. We were fine in the first half. We had the better of the play. And then even before the sending off, in the second half, they just absolutely bombarded us. And since the sending off, I believe the sending off was probably around this area, they had quite a few good chances where some of it came through, but they were the better team before our sending off. And yeah, it wasn't super encouraging playing like that against Aston Villa when we now have to take on Atletico Madrid in the Europa League. Our first match is at home, but I'm not super confident now. We were supposed to have 2 games in between. We Aston Villa, and we're supposed to play Manchester City, but they had an FA Cup game and had to get rescheduled and all that. So yeah, I mean, maybe that's a good thing, because the way we're playing, that might have been embarrassing, and I would feel even worse about this Atletico Madrid match if we were at home against Man City and got our pants pulled down. But now, who knows what to expect. We're taking on Atletico Madrid. They're doing okay in La Liga. They're in 3rd place, kind of the traditional Atletico Madrid spot, but they're actually ahead of Real Madrid, so they're not a bad team. They're a pretty decent team with Fernando Diniz. Don't know who you are. A Brazilian dude. Who are you from? Just from Brazil. Okay. He spent his entire career in Brazil, and now he's the Atletico manager. Sure, fine. If he now whoops me, I'll be a little bit disappointed, considering this is his first European job. But I don't know. I feel like I should be confident, but I'm not. And we've even got basically what's a full strength squad, so I don't really have that excuse if we get embarrassed. Our starting 11 is what I think right now is our best starting 11. It's kind of questionable whether, like, the midfield between Moriba, Mount, and Gavi. Gavi was absolutely awful in the last game he played against Aston Villa, but recently he's actually been pretty decent, which is an uptick of what we've seen for so far this season. He started the season off just absolutely awful. He was the worst player in the team, but he's getting some form. But Moriba's been good basically the entire time we've had him, and Mason Mount has seemed to also be good whenever he gets an opportunity. So I thought, well, we're starting Mount and Moriba. I think that's the partnership that I feel the most comfortable with. And then Kim moving in behind him as the defensive option. We are playing the more high tempo style, even though we are at home, because again, I don't know if we're good. So I don't want to try to do this possession style against Atletico Madrid and absolutely blow up in our face. If we get blows up in our face doing this, okay, I'll take it. I was a little bit cautious. I mean, if I find out we're dominating the match, then I might switch, but going into it, I think this is the way to do it. Like I said, we've got a full strength squad for the full strength defense. Ruggieri, Badiashile, Cerezo, James, and Harazo. The only player with an injury is Mike Fromm. He's out for another couple days, 1 day, but a little bit too early for him to come back into this one. I don't think we necessarily need him either. He's not, I mean, obviously he's a young guy, not a guy that's really proven he should come in and make a huge difference. So I think we're okay being without him. We've got some other big hitters on the bench though. Kessie's there, even though his been pretty poor for the most part. Gavi, who knows what to expect. Raheem Sterling, kind of the same thing. He can be great, or he can be just the worst player you've ever seen. Sesko's actually, it's a pretty decent form, so I actually feel pretty decent if we have to bring Sesko off the bench. Unfortunately, Thiago's also in pretty good form, and he's a player that I don't like to take off. He's one of the best players in the team, and he can't, both him and Sesko can't play anywhere other than striker, so I'd have to change formation to get both of them in there. But we might have to do it, because I want a good result from this first leg. This is our home leg. This is where we should be getting a decent result, setting us up for the away leg, where we just have to not blow it. So let's get a good advantage here. Let's not give ourselves a lot to do going into Spain to take on Atletico Madrid.
How is the mood in the camp right now?
We've got a great bunch of players. They're confident, and they have great self-belief.
Does being the Europa League's leading goal scorers give you confidence that you're always going to be in with a chance of winning?
It's nice to set the tone in matches like this, and goals are a good way to do that. But in this competition, it takes complete effort in every phase, and that's what I'll be looking to get today.
With no surprises in your team news, you must be feeling confident.
We've got a lot of talent at this club, and everyone in the squad plays a part, not just the 11 I chose to start this match. First highlight's going to be a corner for us. Ruggeri to take it, and Badiashile is going to get us the lead. Not the traditional way from a corner set piece, but I'll take it. A good header that hits the post. A little unfortunate there, but it fell right back to him. I don't know what the Atletico Madrid defense was doing there. No one really reacted other than Benoit Badiashile, but he does well to react to it. Even, like, who is this? Camavinga is even in a better spot to get on the end of that, and he sits there and watches as Badiashile runs past him and puts it into an open net. But I'll take it. It's in a lead. We've got an advantage, 1-0, only 10 minutes in. And now I've got the second highlight. It's going to start with the goal kick, and Cerezo's going to pick this up. If they're just going to look to go long all game long, that plays in our advantage. Havertz is going to get the ball from Cerezo. He's going to go inside to Bruno Thiago. He's going to look for some help. He's got Havertz, who finds Reece James on the through ball, but he can't put it on target. He's not often in those positions, but you'd like to see him do a little bit better there, at least hit the target. A really good start to this match so far. If you look at the match stats, we have absolutely dominated. 9 shots, 5 on target. They have 1 and 1. We don't have the possession advantage, not even close to it, so I'm not going to change tactics. This one is creating chances at a very high rate. Hopefully we'll get a few more goals. As Yeremy Pino is through on goal, and it's a good save from Oblak. He had a tough angle there to put it in the back of the net. And Oblak, very good keeper, even in his advanced age in this save. But Pino, he typically scores those. He's going to put a ball in from the corner, though. We can't score this one, though. It gets headed down. That's probably going to be the end of the highlight. Hopefully we'll have another one. I want a 2-goal advantage going into halftime. We are going to see the corresponding throw-in, though. Elias Mariba gets the throw-in from Ruggeri. He's going to look to take himself down this left-hand side. Can he put in a ball of quality? He's going to go back to Elias Mariba, playing as a playmaker this game. Into Camavinga. Nice ball out to Reece James. A better position for him this time, but he still goes for goal. I guess he put that one on target, but I felt like he should have gone across goal there. We had some players in the middle of the box that could have gone on the end of that. This is probably going to be the last highlight of the first half. It's going to be the first time we've really seen Atletico Madrid attack our box all game long. They still only have the 1 shot. They're going to see if they can get another here, but we'd like to win the ball and go on a counterattack. Their striker looks for a through ball down this right-hand side to Benasser. I don't know if that's the Benasser we know, but he puts a good ball in, and we got a little fortunate with our deflection off the post. They get a little fortunate with their deflection, and we both put them in the back of the net. That is only their second shot of the game, and yet it's 1-1, though we had 12 shots to their 2. Another match we have absolutely dominated, and it's even. This team is so frustrating. We're going to see one last highlight, though. A throw-in, nearly a corner, but Yeremy Pino is going to have a chance there to put a shot on target. He's going to take a few more dribbles and hit it directly at the goalkeeper. Our finishing has been absolutely atrocious. We begin the shots on target. Our XG is even decent. Maybe Oblak's just having an absolute blinder, but this should not be 1-1. Never in a million years should this be 1-1. And typically in this competition at this stage against teams like Atletico Madrid, you pay for not finishing those chances. So far we have in the first half. If we don't turn things around in the second, we can pay and get knocked out of this competition before we even get to the semifinals. That isn't good enough. Absolutely unacceptable in this competition. Playing teams of this caliber, you cannot afford to dominate the match stats and not show it on the scoreboard. We should be leading right now. And we shouldn't just be leading. We should be leading comfortably. It is unacceptable that we aren't. We know we can create chances against this team. We created plenty of them in the first half. But if we don't start putting them away in the second half, we will have an uphill battle heading to Madrid in the next leg. 60 minutes in, we've got a highlight. It's going to be a goal kick for Atletico Madrid. We need to intercept this and go on an attack, because we haven't seen us attack their goal yet in this second half. And we need some goals. I want at least 2 goals in this second half for me to feel any sort of confidence going into the second leg. But it's Atletico Madrid on the ball. They barely touched the ball the first half. Literally, the only time they did was when they scored their goal. And now, it's just Atletico Madrid on the ball in this second half. And they're building up very patiently from the back. They've had a lot of possession this game. They just haven't done basically anything with it other than, score their only shot, really. Second shot on target, because of course. And then now they're looking to attack once again. Their striker's got the ball. It's going to be intercepted, though. Bruno Thiago's going to pick this up, but he's not got much help and support. He's going to look for Yeremy Pino on a through ball. He's got a lot to do here from a wide angle. And why are you going for goal there? Fortunately, he got knocked out for a corner, but he should not be going for goal there. He didn't have much help, but hold on to the ball until somebody gets in the box. You ain't scoring from that angle, especially against Oblak. And we can't score the corner either. I mean, it might take set pieces today. Kai Havertz can't get the ball to the back post, and that's how the highlight ends. Got another highlight, 72nd minute. This time we're starting with the ball. Yeremy Pino's picked up a little bit of a knock, but he's probably the best player on the team, so I don't think I can take him off right now. And Ruggeri's going to pick this up after the deflection. He's going to look for Alex Mariba. He hasn't had a great game. Neither is really basically anyone on the team. Kai Havertz, okay. I mean, okay, you score that. I don't understand this team. We can't score 11 or 10 or how many shots we had in target we had in the first half. Like 11. But we can score that. Okay, well, let's get a couple more. 75th minute now, and we're having a goal kick, and it's going to build up from the back. They've actually got two of our former right backs. Malo Gusto has come on as a sub for Estevez, the former Sporting Center or right back. So they've got two of our former right backs on their team, and they've replaced each other. Hopefully they don't have a great game today. Malo Gusto coming on we know he's a really good player. And really, the price they got him for was super cheap for how talented he is. And apparently Kai Havertz is a beast. All of a sudden, out of nowhere. I mean, we never really seen him finish like that. I'm really hoping this one's going to count, because I said before I wanted 2 goals, at least. And so this would be a good spot to go from, because if they get another shot, decent chance it goes in. Fortunately, this does count. So Kai Havertz has a brace and 2 very good finishes. Yeremy Pino with the assist this time, but what a finish that is by Havertz. 2 really good goals from him today. All right, we've got another highlight. 5 minutes left in normal time. We're going to have a throw-in. Kai Havertz, the phenom from today, apparently, on the ball. He's going for Benjamin Sesko on the through balls. Came on as a sub, and I think that's good. I don't think they're even going to check it. That is another goal. I don't understand. We've had like 5 shots on target in this second half. We've scored 3 goals. This team makes no sense, but I'll take it. We have a 4-1 advantage now. I actually feel a little relieved. I was still, even with a 2-goal advantage, I was not feeling great. With a 4-1 advantage, we should be good now. Let's just not concede another goal. 2 minutes left of that time. I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to go into this second leg. We're going to go into Madrid with a 4-1 advantage. I feel pretty good now. I did not feel good going into this game. I felt even worse after that first half, surprisingly, even though we dominated it. But, I mean, dominating match by the match stats means nothing if you don't score goals. And we did not score goals in that first half. We scored 1, and it was from a set piece after a deflection off a post. And not great. Not a very good first half. But even the second half, fewer chances. I guess we actually had more shots. 15 shots. I don't think we had many on target. So we had 10 shots on target at halftime, I believe. At least 10. But still a pretty solid second half. And we actually put our chances away. Thank God. It's a good thing we were able to get that advantage in the second half, though, because Yeremy Pino looks like he's going to be missing the next leg. Fortunately, I don't think we're going to need him, because if we didn't have a 3-goal advantage, I would not feel great not having what I think is our best player out there, and that's Yeremy Pino, even though Kai Havertz was tremendous today. 2 of the best finishes I think we've ever seen from him. Even with this 3-goal advantage, I'll still be coming back for the second leg for the next game. We'll have Fulham in between in the Premier League in 2031. Apparently, they're a good Premier League side, 9th in the table. But we are at home, so it should still be a good performance and hopefully a good victory. All right, so we got the win versus Fulham, 2-1. A decent performance. We did lose Reece James to a couple weeks injury, but we're playing pretty well. We're in good form. We are unbeaten in over 2 months. So now all we need to do is not blow a 4-1 lead. I think we can do that, but I'm not going to be too overconfident. We're going to have a pretty strong squad for this one. A little bit of rotation because of, well, we've had some injuries, and I think we can. I hope we can. So I'm going to start Sesko up top over Bruno Thiago. Sterling comes in, but that's because of the injury, Yeremy Pino. So I had to bring in a new winger. It's going to be Raheem Sterling because Kendrick also picked up an injury, and Zvonarek also picked up a little bit of a knock in the last game as well. He's okay to play, but I'm going to go with Sterling. Havertz is going to keep his spot, though. He was tremendous in the first leg. Midfield's going to be Mount, Gavi, and Kessie. Backline, Reguilon, Badiashile, Mancini, Jimmy Wong because of the injury to Reece James. And then Giovanni Razzo stays in net. Which leaves on the bench, some good options in case things get a little scary. Cerezo, if we really need to start defending. Kind of the same with Ruggeri. Could also be an attacking threat from left back. Beatty is a backup midfielder. We've got Mariba. We've got From. There's Zvonarek for the wings. And Bruno Thiago up top in case we need goals. Hopefully, though, we won't need goals. We got our first highlight 6 minutes in. It's going to be former Sporting man Malo Gusto with the throw-in, but we're going to immediately intercept it. I would be okay with not very many highlights this game, or us giving the ball away at all like that. Just don't do that, and I'll feel okay. But Atletico Madrid are going to have the ball, and they're going to look to attack down this left-hand side, but Jimmy Wong is going to intercept very well. Havertz looking for a through ball. He's not going to find Sesko, though. They're going to look to build out from the back once again. They end up going long. Reguilon picks it off. And now, can we create a chance? Raheem Sterling is going to go inside to Reguilon. He's going to cut inside. Look for a ball over the top for Mason Mount, who's going to get on the end of it. And he's going to put it in the back of the net. We are 7 minutes in. We already had a 4-1 advantage. Now we have a 5-1 advantage. I was pretty confident going in. Now I'm pretty sure we can't screw this up. Famous last words, though, right? I think we're okay. We should be okay. We've seen enough of this Chelsea team that we shouldn't be able to blow this kind of lead, even with the talent Atletico Madrid have. And they have good talent. That's Malo Gusto, who we know is very good. But we're going to intercept this. Malo Gusto away. Maybe he's doing us a little bit of a favor, but we're going to look to create another attack. Mason Mount, who scored the goal, is on the ball now. Can he get an assist? He's going to go back to Kessie. Go inside to Sesko. Gavi with a long shot. We saw a couple banger goals from Kai Havertz in the last match, and Gavi almost equaled him right there. And that might have been even a little bit better. I didn't want many highlights, but so far we've had quite a few highlights. We're 17 minutes in. This is like our third highlight, I believe. And Atletico Madrid are going to intercept to go on an attack of their own. We haven't seen them do much so far today, but they're looking to attack down this left-hand side. We've done pretty well at intercepting the ball and going on attacks of our own. Vitinha is able to hold on to it. He's going to look for a man over the top, and we don't win the header. It's going to fall to him. He's going to look for a chip over the keeper, but Mancini does very well to get back and clear it off the line. And we might create an attack, but I doubt we are going to. I think it's going to be a highlight that just sputters to an end, kind of like that. But we got one right back from the throw-in. Reguilon's going to go back to Badiashile, and he's going to go all the way back to Horazzo. Mancini, who's been very good for us so far. I think he's been a very good signing. Reguilon, on the other hand, even though he is having a good game today, has been one of the worst signings I think I've made in this save. He has just not been very good. Gavi on the ball now, been really up and down, Gavi. He's had he ended the season last year pretty well, but started this season and really started last season when we moved to Chelsea, he was very bad. Hopefully we can see the better of Gavi, because he's got a lot of talent. He's got some amazing attributes. He just doesn't seem to play to them. Maybe it's the advanced playmaker position now. Maybe it's not all Gavi. Maybe it's just the position. He's going to find Havertz, though, and Havertz scored a couple bangers in the last game. That was a little bit more simple, and he couldn't finish it. He hits the post, and they're going to clear it. We're going to have another throw-in. I didn't want highlights, and all they're giving me are highlights, but I'll take it when they're goals for us. I'm not sure if there was a foul in there. I don't think anyone was offside. I think Sesko might have been offside. I thought he might have fouled the defender. I don't think he was offside, though. I think this is going to count. Apparently, I'm an idiot. It's not going to count. Okay. How far was he? Was he very far offside? Was he really interfering with play? No. He wasn't really interfering with play. The defender jumped for it, but he didn't challenge for it. I don't think that should have been called offside. And the first half is finally going to end. We saw a bunch of highlights, but there was only one shot on target for each team in that half. That was a pretty sloppy half, but we have an advantage, and it's a 4-goal advantage now. I said earlier after our first goal that we should be good. At halftime, if they score 4 goals in one half against us, I might just resign. A pretty boring second half, and that is fine by me. We're in the 89th minute. This is probably going to be the last highlight, and it is too little, too late for Atletico Madrid. Even if they get a goal here, I don't think they're getting 4, and we nearly get our second. Sesko's shot is saved by Oblak, and that should be about it. A minute left, and that is game over. Not only do we get through the tie, we win both legs, and we win against probably the best team left in the competition, 5-1 on aggregate. That sets us up pretty well for a chance of winning this competition. Really happy with those 2 wins and to get through this round of the competition. I really didn't know what to expect going into these 2 matches, but for the most part, I felt like we played really well. A little worrying after the first half of the first leg, but we dominated that second half and did a professional job in the away leg to get a comfortable 5-1 victory over what's probably the best team left in the group. The semifinal has been drawn. It was drawn the same time we got Atletico Madrid, and if you don't remember, we got the winner of Leverkusen and AEK. I think you can probably guess who won that match. Yeah, Leverkusen. So we're going to be taking on Leverkusen in the semifinal, but you probably aren't going to be able to predict the other tie in the semifinal because I was surprised as well. It is Feyenoord versus Rangers. So if we beat Leverkusen, I mean, I feel like we should win that final. Like, a one-off game, anything can happen, but that is a very, very winnable game. But in the quarterfinal for those 2 teams, if we go to the stages and the quarterfinal, Feyenoord beats Sevilla 3-1 on aggregate, and then Rangers beat Lyon 2-0 on aggregate. So You know, Sevilla and Leon, not two giants. Sevilla obviously a pretty good Europa League team, at least historically. But I mean, apparently Feyenoord and Rangers aren't bad. But I still really back ourselves to win that match if we can get to this final. And we will know whether we're in that final by the end of next episode, because we will be taking on Bayer Leverkusen in both legs of the semifinal in next episode. We've got a couple tough games coming up in the Premier League. At home against Man City, the game that got rescheduled. They're currently in 6th. And then away from home against Southampton. They are currently in 11th, but they finished 4th last year and got Champions League football, which might be why they're struggling a little bit in the league this year. But they're still a really talented team. And the Premier League is still really close. We are 4 points behind Liverpool, but we have a game in hand. So if we win that game in hand, we're 1 point behind them. And, well, we play them on the last game of the Premier League at home against Liverpool. That is probably going to determine the title. I'm looking forward to that one. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself. That Liverpool game won't mean anything if we drop too many points in these other Premier League games before. So we'll see next episode how we did in this 3-game stretch before we take on Bayer Leverkusen in both legs of the Europa League semifinal. Seeing if we can get to this final and win our first European competition with Chelsea. It's not the one we want, but it's a good setup to a Champions League campaign next season. If you made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. The links to all my socials and my Twitch are in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.